his rookie campaign up in field goal, really just scratching the surface in terms of his potential.
In the corner, it's Martin. It's stolen by McLemore. And that one's good.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
Wiggins outside. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. Wiggins has got his first 3 points of the game. Rondo against Rubio. Rondo, good.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
Here's Martin. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Terrific assist that time by Rubio.
Rondo drives in. Cannot hit. Excellent D there from Garnett.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Now Gabe, following the miss by Martin from deep.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Wiggins kicks to Towns. Here's the three. It's deflected. On up the court. And McLemore slams it in.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
And while making his way back into the league last season, Kings picked him up halfway through the year to kind of stabilize their coaching situation.
Rondo passes to McLemore. Rondo drives in. And stolen by Wiggins. Out of bounds, Sacramento takes possession. Chang, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Dean comes in for Kevin Martin. Bellinelli, he's checked in for the Kings. And a wide open look for Rondo. Not enough on that one as it misses. And what a pickup to get a guy like Carl Gregg on their bench, as you mentioned. He's just been a winner, Clark, his entire career.
Well, he's climbing the ladder in the all-time wins category as a coach, and also he's a cancer survivor. He's overcome a battle with cancer, and that also lends itself to having great compassion and respect for George Carl.
As did his son, Kobe.
That's
Remember
right.
That? Yeah.
That's right. It was a family affair.
Here's Rondo. Following the basket by Andrew Wiggins. Rondo dishes to Cousins. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
A beautiful pass by Rondo. That's excellent teamwork.
Back to Rubio. On the wing, Wiggins. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. That's 7 points for Andrew Wiggins.
I like the way he's not forcing anything, taking advantage of what the defense is giving. He's been a key contributor for them this quarter.
Rondo kicks to Cauley-Stein. Drops it in from 14 feet away.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay. In last season, the Wolves had the hardest strength of schedule in the entire league. Might have worked out for them in the end, as come lottery time, those extra losses do tend to help.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. Well, Greg, it would work out for Minnesota with all those losses. They got the lucky bounce, Clark, and the #1 pick in the draft.
And, you know, it's the first time in a long time that the worst team in the league actually got the top pick in the draft, allowed Minnesota to add another great young big to complement Rookie of the Year, Andrew Wiggins.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Payne, he's checked in for Towns. Prince comes in for Wiggins. And it's Muhammad in for Ricky Rubio. Place they call the home of the Bulls, where today we'll be broadcasting live. Thanks for joining us as we get set to bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. They've got Paul George. C.J. Miles is out there with Mahimi. Then there's Ellis. And it's Hill in at the 1. Lets it go from deep. Count the bucket.
For 3.
Hill's got the first points up on the board here for the Pacers.
And those are the first points of the game.
Nice hoop to get the scoring started there.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer. Was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Rose dishes to Butler. Out to the right wing. Lets it go from the wing. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Rose.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
And now just over a minute played here in the first. Hill against Rose. Kicks it out to Ellis. In the corner, George with it. Clock at 6. That misses off the backboard. Great for Hoiberg. It's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clark, he came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there. That's now 4 misses on their first 5 attempts. Still trying to find the rhythm and flow here offensively.
3 on 3. And a wide open look here for Ellis. Indiana again missing. The shot by Butler, nobody around. And the 3 off target.
And really, despite that miss, they've had a solid start offensively.
His eyes just simply light up when he gets that close to the bucket. And you just know what he's going to do with the basketball.
And it's Rose missing. The Pacers have gone just 2 of 7 so far. A little bit of a slow start for them. The shot by George, no good.
You know, no doubt last year a bit of a loss for Paul George. I mean, had to sit out most of it after that gruesome leg injury in the Team USA scrimmage.
And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up.
Tell you what, Monte Ellis is one of the best second-round draft picks of all time in the league, not just the last decade. I mean, this guy was a 5-star recruit out of high school, committed to college, but changed his mind and entered the draft, where the Warriors stole him with the 40th pick in 2005.
That's his first personal foul.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Paul George.
Getting back to Monte Ellis. Had he gone to college for even 1 year, I think he would have probably been a top 10 pick. But you look at what he's brought to the table over his career. Points and assists, rebounds, steals, playmaking. His production has been astounding.
You know, he's one of those unsung players. He never gets voted to the All-Star game. It never gets spoken about as one of the top guards in this league. But you look at the body of work and you ask his competitors throughout this league, and they're going to tell you that guy's as tough as they get. And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
So for the Bulls, Joakim Noah's checked in for Gasol. Gibson comes in for Mirotic, and McDermott subbed in for Tony Snell. And Indiana with a change here too. Allen's checked in. McDermott, no one around him. No good off the front iron.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
No, it always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
Rose with the ball. He's picked up by Hill. Stolen by Miles. Floats one. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe. So for the Bulls, Morris checked in for Butler. And it's Heinrich in for Derrick Rose. The Pacers also changing it up. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for C.J. Miles. Budinger comes in for Monte Ellis. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for George Hill. And so it's Indiana with it. Last season, the Bulls were a tough matchup, solid margin of victory for them, and never looked overwhelmed, Clark.
Yeah, you know what? They're a team that's even-keeled, the type of team that can win anytime they take the floor. They have a system that works and good talent, actually excellent talent to make it special, and that combination is a winning one.
Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Right side, George. Shoots it. And it comes off the rim with a high bounce.
If that would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Yeah, look at the coach's face and the expression. It says all over it. Are you kidding me?
Here's Stuckey following the basket by Doug McDermott. And Budinger kicks to Allen. The pass to George. 6 on the shot clock. Noah with the block. The 3. McDermott can't get it to go. Indiana trailing here. Feeds it to Budinger. Hits the target from 18 feet. Budinger's got his first 2 points.
And the Pacers just missed out on the playoffs last year and would have to settle for 9th in the East. Hard for a team that has been so dominant in the East over recent seasons.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. And for the Pacers against the East, they actually played the rest of the conference. Greg, very well, ended with a 28-24 record, Clark, against the East.
The only team, Kevin, in the East with a winning record against the rest of the conference not to make the playoffs. Only went 10-19 against the playoff teams in the conference.
George Hill's checked in for Paul George. McDermott can't get it to go. And it's Budinger finishing it off.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And guys, what a strange rookie campaign for Dougie McBuckets. I mean, he entered the draft as a polished sharpshooter. The Bulls traded up in the first round to get him, and he ended up playing 9 minutes a game over the course of last season.
On the topic of Doug McDermott, one of the most decorated college players in recent history, and Clark, you called a lot of his games.
Yeah, enjoyed watching him play, and I still think he has a bright future. Just never found any real rhythm. Averaged only 3 points a game, but he didn't get much playing time, so look for him to bounce back in the years going forward.
23 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. From the wing. And it doesn't even draw iron.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Here's Budinger. That's the game so far. Pacers will get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. Guys in the hustle sticks for Indiana.
Tell you what, guys, they're showing us a lot of energy early on and racking up those fast break points.
And also, they're jumping on a lot of turnovers, making sure they turn them into points at the other end.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So the Bulls 5 right now. Butler and Snell are the wingmen. Pau Gasol is out there at Perisic. And it's Rose in at the point guard position. Derrick Rose has certainly piled up the awards for such a young player, starting with Rookie of the Year, with 111 first-place votes to only 5 for the runner-up. We know about his MVP, and that just shines out so brightly for him.
And how about he and Michael Jordan, the only MVPs in Chicago Bulls history?
Now, here is Hill. Pass to Mahinmi. On the wing, Ellis. 6 to shoot. He dishes it to Hill. The shot no good. And the Bulls going the other way now.
This shot's just, it's not there right now. With this team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
Now here's Buttinger. Ellis the pass to Buttinger. Back to Ellis. Fires it up. He's just scored his first basket with that shot, making him 1 for 4.
Even though it went down, I don't think that's the kind of look they should be settling for.
And it's Butler missing.
Those are chances. Almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm. Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
And Gasol slams it in.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
George is checked in for Chase Buttinger. Hill kicks to Mahinmi. Kicks it out to Ellis. But they'll get another chance. Three-pointer. That doesn't go either for Ellis.
Oh, that's got to be deflating and disappointing to miss a wide-open shot like that right in your wheelhouse.
Deflects the pass. And George, here we go. And the layup's good off the glass. George has got the lead up to 8 now for the Pacers.
He presents a defender with a serious challenge, always.
Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Really hard to decide, guys, which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Clark, there's no wrong answer to that one, my friend. Sensational alley-oop all the way around.
Agreed.
And, guys, you know what? You wouldn't know that they're the team that's actually trailing with how they were able to pull that play off.
Butler attacking. Can't connect from short range.
And, the Pacers had made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off back-to-back conference finals appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Chicago. McDermott comes in for Tony Snell. And Mahinmi with the stuff.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Out that one, the Indiana lead has been cut to just 5 points on the basket from Gasol.
And really, it's going to be more of a reload than a rebuild situation for the Pacers. You would have to imagine the goal isn't just to get back to the playoffs, but to get back to being a conference final participant.
Butler. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock. And now just a 3-point Pacer lead. Rose against Hill. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That'll be his second foul of the game. Joakim Noah is checked in for Chicago. Heinrich comes in for Derrick Rose. Allen's checked in for the Pacers. Stuckey comes in for George Hill. Good on the shot. And the Pacers lead by 5.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotation and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
Ejuan Moore, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Indiana. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Indiana leading by 5. Here's Stuckey. Outside for George. Three-pointer. It's hauled in by Noah. The Bulls have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. McDermott with it. George picks him up. This one for 3. The shot will not go. So the Pacers will take it the other way.
And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago. First off, look, every year there are all-star game snubs, and perhaps last year Monte Ellis was the big one in the West. Hard to leave him off given the way he played for the Mavs.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Stuckey kicks to Ellis. Leans inside. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. 8 points for Monte Ellis. For Monte not being an all-star, there are a lot of guys that could have made an argument to be there. Monte's was as strong as any.
Yeah, and his own coach said that Monte deserved it more than Dirk, his teammate. And not a shot at Dirk by Carlisle, just Rick expressing how valuable Monte was to the Mavs.
The feed to Stuckey. Ellis outside. On the wing, George. 7 points in the game.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
The shot by Heinrich no good. From about 19 feet. It's hauled in by the Bulls.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
Looking to end his cold spell. And it's Ellis laying it in. Ellis has got 10 points in the quarter.
Agility leads to thievery there as he's got his hand in there to get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
And Clark, that's been the story of this game so far. I mean, they cannot hand over any more easy points in the open floor.
And so we wrap up the first half. Pace. And the second half about to start here in just a few moments.
Take a look at what Ellis has done so far. He's got 10 points, and he hasn't forgotten to get his teammates involved either.
And he's conscious, I think, Clark, of good ball movement. It needs to be a part of their game plan throughout.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. You have to like what we're seeing from Monte Ellis.
That slasher mentality was on display in that first half. He got to the rim consistently.
Boy, I tell you what, he's got that great first step, and he must have had some quickness porridge or something because he looks a little faster today than normal.
On the court for Indiana. Paul George is out there with C.J. Miles. Then there's Ellis. Then it's George Hill, and it's Mahimi in at the center.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finished hard with two hands on the stuff.
Yeah, nothing extravagant, guys, but again, no need on that one. I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
Pass to Rose. Snell from outside. Hill pulls it in. Indiana leading by 13. And Mirotic sends it back. And Butler, here we go. Not that time, his sixth miss. He's made 4 of 10 so far. Nikola Mirotic, drafted as a late first-rounder, Clark, back in 2011. The Spanish star finally made his rookie debut in the NBA last season, and it was worth the wait.
It sure was, Kevin. I mean, once he started to get consistent PT, I mean, he was remarkable. Can run like the wind for a big guy, not that strong, but more aggressive than you'd think.
Now Ellis. George Hill missing on the three. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
Yeah, but in the first half, he was just purely flawless as a ball securer. But that certainly hasn't been the case here in the second half.
The Pacers making a change here. Buddinger's checked in. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
And back to Mirotic last season, per 36 minutes, he averaged 18 points, 9 rebounds. He was also a tremendous foul shooter for a rookie big and made the all-rookie first team, was second in Rookie of the Year voting. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Now here's Rose. And he gets it to go. Rose has got his second bucket.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
And it's Hill penetrating. He kicks to Budinger. Pass to George. And he goes in for the dunk.
Boy, he is such a ridiculous dunker.
High riser, no doubt about it.
Goodness, I mean, you come to expect plays like that from him, and folks, that never gets old.
And, you know, for Mirotic, his value extends to the defensive end as well. He did a surprisingly good job of racking up blocks and steals last season. You have to believe that if he improves his power and consistency, an all-star nod isn't so far off.
Here is Hill, following the score by Derrick Rose. Miles dishes to Hill. And Gasol sends it back. They recover it. Snell, the pass to Mirotic. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Butler goes in. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
That's exactly how it should be done. Get the bump, concentrate on the shot, and you'll get the bucket too.
Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Indiana. Tries to keep it alive. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. Some changes for Chicago. Gibson comes in for Mirotic. And McDermott subbed in for Tony Snell. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Mahinmi kicks to Miles.
C.J. Miles.
Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
Hill, no good.
He had 6 points from long range in the first half, but nothing's fallen here since.
Rebound by Mahinmi. Pacers leading by 10. Here's Buttinger. The kick out to Hill. Here's Mahinmi. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Taj Gibson picks one up.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gasol. Etuan Moore comes in for Jimmy Butler. And it's Heinrich in for Derrick Rose. In Indiana with the change here, too. Allen's checked in for C.J. Miles.
With Joakim Noah, I mean, you know exactly what he's going to give you every season. Rebounding, block shots, steals, a few points, relentless energy and enthusiasm, and even a few assists as well.
Hill with it. Now defended by McDermott. And the wide open shot from Stuckey. Here's Allen. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Indiana.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
Yeah, and something else they've done all through this one is knock down the mid-range jump shot whenever they've had the chance.
Hill, he's checked in for Ian Mahinmi.
That's his first personal foul.
You know, guys, Taj Gibson now is 6 full seasons in the NBA. Already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Getting back to Gibson, he was one of the oldest college freshmen in the country at age 21. Played 3 years at USC. Then he was one of the oldest players in the 2009 draft, even though he declared as a junior.
Yeah, I think the NBA is the only profession where it hurts you to have a lot of experience coming out, you know, because that's one reason why he did drop. I mean, had he been a couple years younger, with his length and athleticism, he very well could have been a top 10 pick. But I tell you what, the Bulls are happy that he wasn't.
Here's Buttinger. Misses the 3, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. Offensive rebound.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at him.
Oh, terrific way to finish that move there, going to the basket.
It's stolen by Hill. Out to the wing. All sorts of time. That misses off the backboard. Bulls trail by 9. Here's McDermott. Off target from outside.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Here's Buttinger. Drains the three-pointer.
For 3.
Buttinger's got 7 points in the game.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
Heinrich kicks to McDermott. Fade away. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
And he's really trying to get them back into it, but the results just have not been there.
And there's the foul. It goes on Taj Gibson. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
Paul George. Monte Ellis.
Here's Stuckey. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Allen dishes to Stuckey. 5 to shoot. Outside, George. Shot on the wing. Offensive rebound.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Those putback jams. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Pacers lead by 14. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the 4th quarter. And we're getting underway here in the 4th quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Rose is the 1 with Butler is the 2. Mirotic is out there with Tony Snell. And it's Gasol at the 5. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Stolen. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And finished off by Rose.
Maybe that'll ignite him. I mean, impossible not to get pumped up after that. At least I think that would be the case.
Well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are. Look at them. They are pumped up.
Yeah, they're geek.
And that's what the alley-oops guys will do for your team.
Oh, and a fast break for the Bulls.
Really a heads-up play on both ends there. The steal and the quick push on the break.
Rapid-fire basketball at its best. Boom, 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 bang.
Stuckey passes to George. Chicago grabs the miss. Gasol's got his 4th rebound in this one. Down low. Deflects the pass. Paul George with the steal. Here's Ellis. Basket is good. The assist from Stuckey. Stuckey's got 3 assists in the game. Butler goes in. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Indiana leading by 10. Stuckey kicks to Hill. That's good.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Well, for Jordan Hill, something wonderful happened to him last season. The breakthrough he'd been waiting for on his 6th year.
Yeah, Kevin, you know, it had to do, and I think correlated with him getting a chance to start games, and it blew up for him from there. Posted career-high averages across the board.
Bulls making a switch here. Portis is checked in. Then for the Pacers, Mahimi comes in for Jordan Hill. And it's Hill in for Rodney Stuckey. And the call will be against George Hill. That is his first foul of the game. Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. Outside Butler. Knocked loose. It's stolen by Hill.
In the second half, they haven't taken care of the basketball. Simply put, more turnovers now that could hurt them later.
Third personal foul.
George dishes to Hill. From outside, off the mark.
And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
Very good. He's a thinking man's defender. Knows how to bother even the best shooters without being overly aggressive.
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injuries. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
Count that one. And the Pacers lead by 13.
An open jump shot there, and their D not putting up any resistance today.
Now here's Hill, the fast break opportunity. And he gets it to go. 14 points for Monte Ellis.
That is an elegant move to drop in the floater there, guys.
And, you know, back to D. Rose. He grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's South Side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
Outside for George. It's back to Hill. Clock at 6. And Gasol sends it back. Ellis outside. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Bulls trail by 15. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Here's Rose. Stolen by George. Knocks it loose. Here's Butler to the wing on the left. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Chicago.
Indiana calls timeout.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Frank Vogel had to say to his team. He was propping his guys up for their defensive pressure, saying, listen, the pressure you put on them has been fantastic. Keep pestering them, keep forcing turnovers, and we'll be in a great position to win this thing.
And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there. And most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions, and finally transferred to a major college and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick.
Looking to get back on track here. Goes back up. That's good.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Yeah, sloppy D there. You can't let him get the ball in his hands down there.
Extremely untidy on the defensive end. I mean, when he gets it in that close, that's an easy bucket.
And Ellis with the block.
Oh, a tough quarter for him offensively. He hasn't been able to give his team a lift when they need it.
And he gets it to go. Ellis has got 6 here in this quarter.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
Hill with it. And Rose picks him up defensively. Oh, and a fast break for the Bulls. Gibson leading the charge. Kicks to Rose. The dish now to Gasol. Snell from outside. Excellent D there from George.
Got a good look at that jam.
I mean, just beautiful.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for Indiana.
The coaching staff must be happy that they controlled their turnovers so well in this game.
Yeah, I like the discipline, the self-control, and the patience, Kevin.
Just a quality win, and you look at the box score and some really good numbers for Hill. You have to focus on the steals he came up with. They were huge factors in the end result.
Gibson. They get the rebound.
Well, that's another good rebound for him. Hasn't mattered at all that he's given up some inches to a few of the other guys on the floor.
And he lobs it up. Gasol, no good.
You know, the alley-oop is a great play when it works, but boy, when it doesn't.
Yeah, it can make you look silly. It embarrasses you. And we had a little silliness right there for sure.
And they've just done a great job of keeping this crowd out of the game. And we're getting closer to victory. The crowd's getting quieter.
And there's not a whole lot for them to be cheering about anymore. I mean, their guys got it handed to them.
Stuckey into the lane. Can't get it to go. Great D that time from Gibson. Heinrich from outside. The rebound by Young. Dishes to Buttinger. Takes it from 10. And that misses badly. Air ball. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. See you later.